Being a plantation company, we have taken it as a software as a service from Microsoft, and everybody was scared to use it.
Hello, and thank you for joining CIO News. I'm Simran Shiwalkar, a journalist at CIO News and your host for today. This session is being recorded and will be available on our website, cionews.co.in, on our YouTube channel and our LinkedIn handle as well. Today, we are back with yet another episode from our exclusive series called Voice of CIO. We are joined by Mr. Abraham Ittyipe. He is currently a CIO and Head of Administration at Harrisons Malayalam. He has a remarkable experience over 2 decades with his expertise in IT, information security, ERP implementation in the agri-industry culture. Mr. Ittyipe, thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you.
Such a long and successful career in IT, moving from a senior IT manager and now as a CIO. What inspired you to pursue this career path? Could you tell us a bit about your journey?
This transition from a senior IT manager to a chief information officer is a significant step in one's career. A few decades ago, when I moved from plantation to the materials department in Harrisons Malayalam, there was only a 286 desktop there, and everybody was scared to use it. This is my story. Then with the help of the EDP department, I began using it to we implemented the inventory management system, connecting head office and 24 estates of the company, which is in remote parts of Kerala. And I later enhanced it to bring in the bill passing system also to that. So in 2000, I took over as the manager in charge of IT in Harrisons. Being a plantation company, Harrison Malayalam, 65% of its expenditure was on labor, and the company was employing around 26,000 workers on a daily basis. And this labor data was sent to the EDP department and in the following month, in the subsequent month, and then it was processed and sent for the wage payment. So the first step, what we did was we started ensuring that we get the labor data on a daily basis. So as a result, this was able to make a big change. And as a result of that, the number of workers started coming down. Duplication was eliminated, and we knew exactly where the workers are being deployed. Then we made incremental changes and convinced the management to invest in IT. With production data, we were able to predict the labor required for harvesting and date by which a particular field is to be harvested on. Based on the crop harvested, we were able to decide the fertilizer that was required to replenish the crop. And all these was automated, was computerized. Then came the first crisis in agriculture industry, that is between 2002 to 2006, post the collapse of the major tea buying market, the Soviet Union. The crisis hit tea industry badly, and the wages could not be paid on time. We were not able to get a hold of the financial situation. Most of the operations were suspended as the estate system and the head office systems were not integrated. It was during that period that we could convince the management to implement ERP. And in 2007, we implemented Microsoft Dynamics, and it took us nearly 2.5 years to stabilize. We were able to identify the accounts payable, accounts receivable, and the cash available in each location. Subsequent to this, even our inventory was properly monitored. And then in 2016, we upgraded our ERP to AX 2012. And we hosted our AX 2012 in Azure Cloud. That is in 2016. So, and after that, subsequent to that, GST came and we were able to seamlessly move into all that. And during the pandemic, we did not lose any man days. We were able to easily, seamlessly move into work from home since we were already on the cloud. And later, in 2023, we moved to D365, which is the latest in Dynamics. And we have taken it as a software as a service from Microsoft. So this is as a result of that, it has got this automatic updation, and our cost is also fixed. And we know we do not have to do this every 3-year upgrades and all that. So this is being taken care of. So that is my journey so far. This is as far as ERP and all are concerned. In between, we have done a lot of small things like to find out when we had this crisis, we also have rubber plantation. We were not able to replant. Now, the rubber tree has a life of 27 years. So the tree has to be felled and you replant it. That is 10% of your plantation is felled every year and you replant it. But during the crisis time, we didn't do any replanting. So we had to do, when we got the money, we started doing accelerated replanting. And then that means lakhs and lakhs of trees were planted. So then to monitor, it takes 7 years for the rubber tree to girth. So the only way you can monitor whether the tree is growing correctly is to find the girth. What is the girth that the tree is reaching? So if we had to do that manually, one worker will have to take a tape, measure the girth, another person will write it down. End of the day, he has to bring it to the office, and then somebody enters into the system. That's how they were monitoring it. Now, to overcome that, what we did was we got a electronic vernier caliper and a data capturing equipment. We connected that, and then from each tree they were able to collect. So we were able to save a lot of data labor on that. Then another thing what we did was a rubber tree you'll have to tap early in the morning. That is, we were not able to establish which is the best time to tap the trees. So we developed a system wherein we monitor the flow of latex at different times, from 2 a.m. to various times where you get the maximum benefit. So that was also another equipment which we developed along with the production team. So that we are involved in a lot of things. Now we have to digitize and be moving forward towards that.
Your own personal journey along with what goes into Harrisons when it comes to Harrisons Malayalam. I wasn't aware that the lifespan of a rubber tree and that it has to go through so many processes when it comes to production and maintenance. We are living in a completely digitalized world. I wanted to hear it from you. How do you see your role as a CIO evolving, given that it's a dynamic digital landscape?
Being part of the RPG group, we are part of the RP Goenka group. So there is a digital COE, Center of Excellence, where the various groups, like you have CET, you have KEC, you have Sensor, a lot of big companies are there. So we get access to that. And along with that, even the group is supporting us. So they are helping us to do what is the safe agriculture practice. Like you do this, this chemical weeding and all that when it is done. And if you are going to pluck the leaf, if you pluck it before that, you'll have there'll be chemical residual. There'll be residual chemical in the tea. So you'll have to wait for about 10 days after spraying. Now all that we are making methods, we are finding out ways in which how we can monitor it. And then we are also going for precision farming, wherein earlier, when there is a pest and disease in a field, in a tea field, you can only spray that entire area. You can't spray it in a particular field, and you don't know, the spray just goes around. Some of it goes to the ground also. Now we're looking at ways and means of how to use a drone spray a particular area and to monitor the diseases before it happens. And then, we're doing a lot of things, but nothing has fructified as yet. We have not been able to move into production because one is the cost. Plantation company is not making huge profit like it used to do earlier. So money is very difficult for us, but still we are moving forward.
Absolutely, and we can certainly hope for the best. And I'm sure in the coming years, Harrisons Malayalam would be doing much more than what currently is being done. But against this background, I would also want to learn from you. Harrisons Malayalam Limited operates in diverse areas, from tree plantations to ornamental plant production. How do you stay informed and ensure that your IT strategies supports all these different parts of business effectively?
We have a monthly review with the plantation and the business heads, wherein if there is a problem, we form a CFT. Once the CFT is formed, we define the problem, and then we look for solutions. And it is when we look for these solutions only, we seek the help of the COE at Bombay, and also we look at various publications and all that. We look at what is available in the market. And also you have UPASI, and there's All Kerala Planters Association, then you have the United Planters Association of South India, and you have a lot of bodies like that, wherein they also give you a lot of input as to what is happening around the field, where all we can improvise. But most of the improvement comes from within through a cross-functionality. Wherein they define their problem, then we address that. It's not that IT cannot give a solution by itself. We can only guide them. We can tell them, you define a problem to me, I will tell you these are the solutions to it. But then I need a buy-in from you. Now, if I try to come and implement something, there's going to be resistance. So I have to take you along and make you implement. That is what I've learned over the years. Because we have different departments and they have different priorities. For them, IT is a pain.
Correct.
Until it is implemented. Once it is implemented, they're very happy.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. Once the implementation is completed, half the struggle is, it's you are there, you at least know. But again, on the same lines, because you are into agriculture now, it's an agro-based industry. Are there any common challenges that you have faced, or any complexities that you would like to address today?
See, if you look at plantation, the problem is we lack the funds. That is there. I don't know whether it's there in other industries, but specific to us, it is there. Money is hard to come by. And if you look at the factories that we have, all our factories they're not modernized. It is when the British left the same factory. There has been not much development there. And to get people to enter data in the plantation and all that, I won't get a good hand. So I have to either automate it, like my temperature, monitoring the temperature in the furnace and all that. I need to have an IoT so that it's correctly recorded. Otherwise, if I leave it to one of the worker there, he'll run off somewhere. You can't expect that, and they're not educated. It's difficult to get good people on the plantation. Because once they're educated, they either go abroad or in Kerala, it's difficult to get people. Now we get people from up north.
Okay. So would it be safe to assume that funding, and when it comes to, especially this industry, funding as well as regional differences could be the major challenge, so which impacts the OT and the IT scenario? Would that be safe to assume?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic, and thank you once again for giving me a comprehensive view about the challenges and the processes as well. I have another question for you, sir. Because looking ahead, are there any new trends or challenges that you're particularly excited about that you believe will particularly benefit this industry?
Like I said earlier, this precision agriculture practices is something which we look at. There is a lot of cost savings in that. And another thing, what I want to know is when I say a particular field has to be plucked by the workers, I have no means to monitor whether they're plucking that particular field. It, you know, sometimes if it is in a very hilly area or slope where there is a big slope, the workers won't go there. So they'll go pluck somewhere else and say that this area was plucked. So in the system, they'll show that field number A12 was plucked, but they would have plucked field number B1 or whatever, for example. So I need to precisely know whether they're plucking the right field at the right time. Now, my problem is there is something called a leaf expansion time. There is 18 days gap. Within 18 days, after the first plucking, then when I do the pest and disease and all that, then there is a particular time period by which I should pluck the leaf. If I don't pluck it, then my quality drops. Then it will affect my price. So I need something which will help me to monitor whether my fields are being plucked at the right time by the right people. So that is what I want to look at. In fact, I tried to implement Salesforce in the plantation, but it couldn't work. See, the problem is I don't have the connectivity. And then another thing is if I have to know, even the workers in the estates, they do not have smartphones and all that. So then I'll have to invest in that. This is the sort of thing that I have. But if I can monitor my workers, are they doing the work at the right time, then I'll be making a good, which is beneficial both for the worker and the industry as well as for the company, because I'll get good quality tea and all my rubber trees will be tapped on time. All these sort of things will happen. Now, what happens in a rubber plantation? The worker goes to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 or 7. He goes straight to the field. Now, if he doesn't tap a particular tree, I won't know. He has to tap 300 trees. There's nobody to supervise. He will tap, he'll collect the latex, and 10 o'clock he'll come and hand over the latex to the factory, and then he disappears. That's how, those sort of things, how do we monitor? Now, another problem what we are facing is from wild animals. Elephants, bear, all these things. Early in the morning, you don't know when they'll be hiding somewhere and they'll come. A couple of our workers has been killed. So I need some sort of a warning system wherein if there's a wild animal attack or somebody is coming in. So these are other things, because when I do the replanting also, the animals come in, and including monkeys, they come and they'll just pull out everything and go. So these are the problems which we are facing as of now.
Great, and thank you once again for being so candid about these complexities and these problems. But again, on those lines, so now that we are also discussing emerging technologies and trends, with automation taking the center stage these days, do you think automated technologies could greatly benefit and solve these these complex problems that you're currently facing in this industry when it comes to detecting a danger or any kind of risk, or when it comes to alarming about the environment or the animals, like you said in your case? So
yeah, it should help. We are still trying to find some solution to this. We don't have. I know, we're too far away. In fact, I was thinking about this camera, which will capture the motion, and then I said we can trigger off an alarm somewhere and or make some sound so that the animals will get scared. But see, none of them is none of it is working. That is the issue. I mean, not that we are not trying. If I can get a solution somewhere, I'll be very happy.
Absolutely, and we can certainly hope for that. Lastly, I would like to understand from you, because you've been in this domain for a very long time, with a diverse experience. Any key message or any words of advice that you would like to give out to young leaders who want to start out, especially when it comes to plantation and this industry?
See, you have to really fight your way up. I mean, there's no easy way out. You feel passionate about something, you have to convince people, and it is nothing will work easily. Every day, one is getting the funds, second, because they do not know, they are putting into something which they don't understand, and people have. So you have to be very patient. And you have to be very focused, and you should be consistent. Things are not easy. If you, especially in the plantation where there's no money. So come what may, if you have a dream, you should pursue it. That's what I would say.